Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here, and this is a bit of good news coming out of California, of all places. Sheriff's Department finds a way to communicate with ICE without violating sanctuary state law. The Orange County Sheriff's Department has complained that California's sanctuary state law, Senate Bill 54, has made it difficult to enforce the law and comply with federal authorities. Among other restrictions, the law stipulates that state and local law enforcement are prohibited from holding illegal aliens on the basis of federal immigration detainers or transferring them to federal custody. It also prohibits state and local law enforcement from asking anyone about their immigration status or sharing any information with federal authorities. The Orange County Sheriff's Department has found a way to notify Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, ICE, without technically violating SB 54. This is because the law, while prohibiting communication with ICE on certain offenses, does allow for information to be shared if it is made publicly available. Beginning in March 2018, the Orange County Sheriff's Department decided to publicly release all inmate data, or dates, thus allowing ICE to be able to know when criminals would be released from custody. Between January and December of 2018, the Orange County Sheriff's Department transferred 717 inmates to ICE upon completion, and that was beginning in March of 18, upon completion of their local sentence. In 2018, a total of 1,823 Orange County inmates had ICE detainers, meaning ICE had requested that the Orange County Sheriff notify them when the inmates were released. In an April press release, newly elected Sheriff Don Barnes spoke openly about his opposition to Senate Bill 54, saying it hinders law enforcement from properly ensuring law and order. Open communication among law enforcement partners is a best practice for public safety agencies, said Barnes. SB 54 hinders this communication and puts the community at risk, kind of like mayors that notify illegal aliens when ICE is coming, or judges that violate immigration law. In October 2018, 9 members of a drug ring based out of Santa Ana were arrested for trafficking methamphetamine. These individuals were working for Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman's Sinaloa cartel. The smugglers disguised the methamphetamine as decorative Aztec calendar stones and statues to ship to Hawaii. The group had been sending the meth through various FedEx stores throughout Orange County in bags of ground coffee and other decorative items, and authorities were able to seize all shipments. In 2018, in August, 20 individuals in the Orange County and Los Angeles regions were arrested for smuggling drugs into the United States from Mexico. These smugglers, also working for the Sinaloa cartel, were caught with about 850 pounds of methamphetamine, nearly 1 ton of cocaine, 93 pounds of heroin, nearly 50 pounds of marijuana, and $1.42 million in U.S. currency. In November 17, a drug bust was coordinated by the Orange, Riverside, and Los Angeles County Sheriff's Departments that resulted in the arrest of 47 individuals tied to the Mexican Mafia on weapons and drug charges, 7 of which were in Orange County. Along with the arrest, 36 weapons, including assault rifles, 20 pounds of marijuana, 60 pounds of cocaine, and 12 pounds of methamphetamine, $35,000 of alleged criminal proceeds were seized by law enforcement. The number of the individuals in these cases who had ICE detainers and were released back into the community is unclear. However, Barnes said criminals in Orange County have been released due to the sanctuary law. The outcome of Senate Bill 54 resulted in the release of criminals back into the community, said Barnes. We have an obligation to protect all members of the communities we serve, and that includes preventing those who have committed crimes from returning to the neighborhoods they prey upon. This is really a very simple thing. A ton of cocaine, over 100 pounds of methamphetamine, all of these things, heroin, assault rifles. You'd think Nukes and Spartacus would be all over this. But the problem is, we have people so dedicated to the notion that no human being is illegal. Well, no, their actions are. Or dedicated to, they have a right to a better life. No, they don't. If you'll notice the first 3 things, these rights are inalienable, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You have a right to pursue happiness. You do not have a right to attain it. And if your pursuit of happiness involves selling drugs that kill countless people every year and ruin homes, lives, and families, to those listening on the Democrats, it separates families Don't you want to stop that? If your pursuit of happiness is breaking American laws, you don't have a right to do that. You don't have the right to traipse into our country, trafficking drugs with you the whole time, and then send them all over our country. And you don't certainly have the right just to come into any country you want unannounced. This seems to be a major point of contention between conservatives and liberals. You see, conservatives are not anti-immigrant. We are anti-criminal. And avoiding border patrol and coming into the country in violation of our immigration law is a crime. If you want to come into the country, go to an American embassy, one of our consulate offices, come to the border at an authorized crossing, ask to come in legally. The same thing I had to do when flying to Canada or when going to Mexico or any other foreign country. You see, I travel to an international point. For Canada, that was an airport in Ontario. For Mexico, it was just outside of Laredo, going to Nuevo Laredo. In both instances, and this is many, many, many years ago, being that we are border countries, a passport was not required. So we would stop and we would fill out our customs declaration that we were not bringing in food or animals or whatnot without authorization. And we would be required to give that to a Customs and Border Patrol agent at that airport. Being American citizens, we had to do the same thing on the way back. You see, it's just this little thing called enforcing the law. But of course, Democratic mouthpieces like Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Feinstein, Waters, Schumer, Pelosi, and the rest of them are so busy demanding that we just stop separating families, ignoring proof that children are being recycled over the border, coming in with 4, 5, 6 different so-called families, because illegals have been told if you have a child, you won't be stopped. Just as they've been told if you say the word asylum, they have to let you in. Neither of these is true, of course. But of course, the old mantra, if it just helps one child, we have to do it, no matter how many American citizens are killed every year by these drugs. I honestly don't think it will be very long before Gavin Newsom gleefully announces that he has passed a new law demanding that sheriff's departments and other law enforcement agencies not publish private personal information, such as when you're being released from jail for a crime that you committed. And once again, California sheriffs will be out of luck on keeping hardened criminals off of their streets. But I've said enough on this. Let me know what you think. Just remember, as always, keep it civil. We do not learn from argument. We learn from debate. As always, also, please remember to like, comment on, and share this video, as well as to subscribe and activate notifications so that you are among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.